What's up, guys? Welcome back to All Wings Everything. Yes, you are back in my kitchen with your boy Spinelli for another easy and delicious recipe. Now, in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to make a buttermilk-brined fried pork chop. Man, this thing is so good. It has so much flavor. Every time I think about it, I just laugh a little bit because it's so good, guys. So I hope you're in your kitchen. I'm already in mine, so let's go. All right, so here are the ingredients we're going to use for today's recipe. Let me tell you what we have. Right here, we have our salt, garlic powder, chili powder, crushed red pepper flakes. We have some dried thyme. We got cumin back here, some ground oregano, some sweet Hungarian paprika, onion powder, black pepper, some cayenne pepper, a package of Sazon Seasoning, a lemon, milk, and our pork chops. Now, I know you're asking yourself, what about the buttermilk? So over here, I can't find any buttermilk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my own buttermilk, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. We're gonna use regular milk and some lemon. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it, very simple. So these are the ingredients, guys, so let's go ahead and move on. All right, guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare our buttermilk. Like I said, if you already have buttermilk, you could skip this step, but over here in DR, I cannot find any buttermilk. So I have to always do with what I have or what I can get while I'm here. So here's where you can make some buttermilk. You could do it one or two ways. You can use regular milk and lemon juice, or you can use regular milk and vinegar. So me personally, I want to use the lemon juice. So what I have right here, I have a cup and a half of regular whole milk, and I have right here 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add that to our regular milk, and I'm just gonna give it a whisk. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes and allow it to thicken slightly and for the milk to become acidic, okay? So we're gonna let this sit here for about 10 minutes, and I will be right back. All right, so while we're allowing our buttermilk mixture to settle and thicken, we're going to talk about what type of ingredients or seasonings we're going to use for this buttermilk-brined pork chop recipe. So right here I have a package of Sazon Seasoning. I have a 1.5 teaspoons of pepper. I have a 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now you can dial that back if you want to a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. Totally up to you. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of ground oregano. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of red hot chili flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon of Hungarian paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, and I have a 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme. So these are the ingredients, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna start adding our dry ingredients to our pork chops, no particular order. So I'm just gonna start off with our red hot chili flakes, that cumin, some of that cayenne pepper, that ground oregano, garlic powder, onion powder, that chili powder, our thyme, our salt, our paprika, our pepper, and we're gonna end it off with our Sazon Seasoning, that 1 package. And see, guys, we got a nice mix. I know you're saying that's a lot of seasoning, but it's really not, guys. Once you add this milk in it, this buttermilk, you're gonna see what this is gonna turn out. So let's go ahead and look at our buttermilk and see if it's ready to add to our pork chops. All right, so I've let the buttermilk sit for about 15 minutes, and now we have that acidic buttermilk. Take a look at that. It has thickened slightly. I wanna bring back our pork chops, add them right here to our cutting board. And what we're gonna do now is we're going to pour that buttermilk directly over our pork chops. And we're just gonna get these bad babies moved around into this buttermilk mixture like that. So guys, take a look at that. And this is what you want it to look like. And you wanna make sure you get all your pieces as much as possible submerged in this mixture. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit overnight and let it brine in this mixture overnight. Now guys, you don't have to do that. You can actually let it sit for a couple of hours if that's what you want to do. But for me, I like to let it sit overnight. To me, it just brings out more flavor. So that's what we have. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cover this up and I'm gonna sit it in the refrigerator. And then what we're gonna do is we'll be back in tomorrow, and we're gonna go ahead and drop these bad babies in the grease, and we're gonna eat. All right, so now it's time to prepare our flour. So what I have right here, I have about 2 cups of flour. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season it with a few ingredients. So what we're gonna use a teaspoon of paprika, a teaspoon of that Sazon seasoning, and a teaspoon of pepper. And we're gonna give it a good mix and make sure we get it all combined. And this is what we have. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, so now we are complete with our marinating process of our pork chops. Man, this smells delicious, guys. So let's take a look at one of them. Look at it. It's packed with flavor. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, so now it's time to get these bad babies floured up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of those pork chops and we're just gonna drop it in this Tupperware with this flour and get it all floured up. Make sure you get between all the cracks and crevices of your pork chops. You wanna make sure it is fully coated. Had to change techniques, guys. Those tongues were not working, I tell you. Shake off the excess, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay it on a rack and let it rest here while we get the other 3 pork chops floured up. All right, so now that we have all 4 pork chops floured, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it rest on this baking sheet for about 15 minutes while I preheat our oil. Yes, we're gonna preheat the oil to about 350 degrees. By the time it's up to temperature, we'll be ready to drop those pork chops in there and we'll be good to go, guys. So let's move on. All right, so now our oil is ready. I'm not gonna sit it in the pan, I'm gonna drop it directly in the oil. If you pull this out and you let this, because it's been in that buttermilk, it'll stick to the bottom of your basket. So you don't want that to happen. So you just want to put it in here like this and let it start frying this way, do the other one like that. All right, and we're gonna let these bad babies cook for about 5 to 7 minutes. All right, guys, it looks like we are ready. Take a look at this. Man, take a look at that one there. Ooh-wee. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get these bad babies on a plate, and I will be right back. And there you have it, guys. Fried buttermilk brine pork chops. Hey, it's not a whole lot I can say about this. Take a look at that pork chop. Guys, I'm just gonna grab this chop, and I want you guys to take a look at that. Look at that. Oh man, look at that. It's still smoking, and it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Guys, you wanna try out this recipe if you eat pork chops. I know a lot of people don't eat pork chops, but hey, if you don't, try it on some chicken, but this here is a good recipe on pork chops. So guys, I'm gonna leave the measurements and ingredients all in the video description below so you guys can check it out. Also, the link, if you don't have these items, will be down there too. And appreciate everybody for picking up that All Wings Everything merch, guys. Also, hit that applaud button for me. Let me know how much you enjoy the recipes. And don't forget to look out for my ebook. It's coming. And until then, we fixing to get into some quality control. So let's go. All right, guys, so it's time for quality control. So let me go ahead and show you what we got here again. Buttermilk-Brined Fried Pork Chops. Oop, don't want this to fall. Oh no, we're not gonna let this fall, buddy. All right, man, it smells good too. So I'm just gonna remove it from the plate, and let me see if I can get me a thumbnail. All right, so I'm going to cut into this and see what we have. What they say, oh baby, oh baby. Cut it a little bit smaller. That brine is something special, guys. I'm telling you. It's juicy. This really is something special. All the flavors, I'm talking about, they are blending well together. Guys, hit that applaud button. And until then, I'm your cook, Spinelli. Be on the lookout for that ebook. Be on the lookout for the ebook, Down Home Foods. Hit the applaud button again, and I am out. Peace.